The Indian subcontinent. A massive tract of land. Jungles, savanna, deserts, and mountains. Cut off and protected from the rest of the world by the mighty Himalayas. A refuge for animals that no longer live anywhere else. Here they play out an age-old battle for survival. This is the story of the tumultuous lives of India's wildlife over just 24 hours. A summer day is dawning over India. This day, like every other day, will be a struggle for survival for India's wildlife community. Some animals will not see this sun rise again. For them, the clock is already counting down. It's 6 a.m. One of the first animals to emerge from the twilight is also one of the rarest. The great one-horned rhino may once have inhabited much of southern Asia, but now is only found in northeastern India and Nepal. As adults, they are only vulnerable to poachers. But young Indian rhino are commonly preyed upon by the king of these grasslands. Tigers will kill up to 20% of rhino calves. And the dim light at the cusp of night and day can be perfect for hunting. But even baby rhinos have well-developed senses of smell and hearing. The tiger stalking this mother and calf may be one of the stealthiest hunters in the Indian jungle. But these rhinos know something dangerous comes. The tiger has many prey choices this morning. India's wilds are full of potential predators. This is the only place on Earth where tigers, leopards, and lions are on the prowl. And almost a dozen other species of hunting cat. 5 species of wild dog also roam the land. Few places have as many large carnivores. With thousands of species of suitable prey for them, this is dawn in a hunter's paradise. The Bengal or Indian tiger is a solitary hunter and can be active day or night. Each tiger's coat of stripes is unique, but every coat has the same lethal purpose. The buffalo and deer this cat hunts can't perceive reds, oranges, or yellows. Combined with the tiger's disruptive stripes, it is well hidden in the shadows. But early in the morning, this tiger must break from cover to drink from a waterhole. waterhole is eerily quiet. The other animals give the cat a wide berth. The cheetal deer, in particular, are on alert. They have a finely tuned understanding of tiger behavior. They appear to know that with a belly full of water and weary after a night of hunting, this tiger is unlikely to go out of its way to chase a fleet-footed deer. It is a calculated assessment. The cheetal is backing its superior speed, barking at the tiger to see it on its way. The deer may have won this standoff, but as the tiger fades back into the brush, it will have noticed the small deer's limp. Marking it as likely prey. By 8 a.m., the day has truly begun. The animals that inhabit India's night are bedded down. Now is the time for the daylight hunters to begin their rounds in search of a meal to carry them through to another day. India's dholes stalk these forests in packs of up to 30. They can grow to the size of German shepherds. A formidable predator, particularly when they work together in large numbers. Even full-sized deer are potential prey. Dholes maintain their own territories, but are also happy to work and play with other groups of dholes. This young couple have split off from the others, perhaps to start their own pack. Marking their territory is a head-down, bottom-up job. But the honeymoon is almost over. For this new pack to succeed, these two dogs must be successful hunters without other packmates to help them. They need to make a kill today. But these young and inexperienced animals are already struggling. The hounds are being hounded. For the most formidable pack hunters in the Indian forest, the morning is a time of rest. They relax in the shade until it is time to resume the perpetual search for prey. The Asiatic lion is the only lion to be found outside of Africa. It is the lion of the Roman Colosseum. They once dominated the wilderness, from here to Europe. Today, their last remaining habitat is centered on the Gir Forest, northwest India. Unlike African lions, male and female Asiatic lions live quite separate lives. only occasionally coming together to feed or mate. The rest of the time, it is the females who run the pride. While the males are busy being kings of their domain. This male must defend his territory by scent marking and roaring to warn off intruders. He may control up to 180 square kilometers of forest, but he is not alone. He has a confederate, perhaps a brother, to help him guard his land. But even with help, these lions can only hope to hold on to their place at the head of the pack for a couple of years. Their defenses are continually probed, this time by a young lion ready to test their mettle. But 2 defending lions is one too many, and the young challenger retreats. As the sun rises higher, the ground temperature in India is already passing 25. Escape from the heat begins to control the lives and movement of the animals, both prey and predator. It is now 4 hours into this 24-hour journey with the wildlife of India. The country's dense forests are rich 3-dimensional habitats where animals don't just live side by side, but above and below. These grey or Indian langurs have come to this grove in search of figs. The mid-morning rain is on its way, and this tree will provide shelter as well as food. Almost anywhere they grow, fig trees are a keystone species that support a wide range of animals. More birds, mammals, and reptiles rely on fig trees than any other group of plants on Earth. In the tropics, they are the tree of life. Amazingly, most species of this hugely important tree and all its dependent animals rely on a single type of microscopic wasp for their survival. Only the tiny fig wasp can enter the fig tree's flowers and pollinate them so fruit will grow. Without the wasp, these trees would be barren, and the world's tropical forests would be different places. Beneath the fig tree, the ground is rich with fallen fruit, fermented in the summer heat. And the Indian langurs are sophisticated enough to take advantage of free alcohol. Liquid lunches are all in vogue with this troop. Luckily, they are happy drunks. Not so much tired and emotional, as emotional and then tired. The problem is, this is no place to let down your guard. A leopard is close, and it has a taste for monkey. Midday temperatures and high humidity are combining over India. Thunderheads grow as moisture is swept upwards by rising air, condensing and promising rain. Painted storks in India's wetlands pant as a way of combating heat stress. Birds have no sweat glands, so panting is one of their main ways of cooling themselves. The younger storks can shelter from the sun in the shade of their parents. But these storks can also deliver a cooling shower to their young family. In the hills of tropical southern India, the afternoon rains have already come, like they do most days from June to September. In the tropics, trees can bear fruit several times a year, creating an almost permanent supply of food in the jungle canopy. These large jackfruit are highly prized in the forest. Today, the jackfruit is found growing across Asia and Africa, but its original home is thought to be here in the Western Ghats. In the Animal Eye Hills in southern India, a small troop of lion-tailed macaques is making a lunchtime feast of the jackfruit. But ownership of such a tree is hotly contested. An invasion is underway. A larger and more powerful troop of lion-tails has taken over the tree, driving the small troop out. But for the lion-tails, it's almost impossible to go hungry this time of year. There's always another fruiting tree for them. In the north, the drunken langurs have awoken, somewhat worse for wear. Predators like leopards are experts at picking out weaknesses and exploiting them. And groggy langurs look like easy prey. They are normally sprightly enough to evade a leopard that has lost the element of surprise. But not so today. For the animals living in the steaming lowlands, the waterhole is a place of refuge. Dozens of species share the same water as if they've agreed on a truce. But not everybody has laid down their arms. It is mid-afternoon in the Indian grasslands. At the height of summer, temperatures can reach over 45 degrees Celsius. Cooling off for the tiger is a simple task. They are the water lovers of the cat world. But all creatures, great and small, come in search of mud and water to cool down. With its huge bulk and very few sweat glands, the one-horned Indian rhinoceros must use mud to keep itself cool. As the mud dries, it will suffocate any skin parasites that the rhino is carrying. India's rare buffalo also seek refuge from the heat and insects that are biting them. Just like human children, for young rhesus macaques, an afternoon swim means playtime and water fights. All under the careful supervision of the older females in the troop. Supervising kids as they play is one way that adolescent females learn their mothering skills. Most of the animals that use the waterhole appear to have reached a détente, so that they can all enjoy its benefits. But there are always dangers waiting as the afternoon temperatures climb. As much as they need the water, the cheetle are wary at the water's edge. The waterhole's mugger crocodiles are hungry. Growing as long as 5 meters, India's mugger crocodiles are considered to be just medium-sized crocs. Deer are larger animals than they usually prey on. But they can go for months between meals, so time is on this croc's side. One day, a cheetle will lose the race, and the mugger will be rewarded for its persistence. In the nearby forest, a mother golden jackal is struggling to keep her litter of pups fed. Her territory is hard up against that of larger jackal packs, so her hunting grounds are being eaten away. Her pups are on 2-hourly feeds, so she only has short windows of time to hunt for the family. An elder daughter will watch the pups as she goes in search of food. Golden jackals are one of the most successful and widespread of the wild dog species, with a native range stretching from Greece to Thailand and as far south as Tanzania. But this jackal is not so lucky. Hunting on her own puts her at risk and minimizes her chances of success. A carcass has drawn her to the waterhole. But a larger jackal from a bordering pack is already there. Ending the small female's chances of scavenging meat to help her feed her small pups. Some young animals are much better off. Shadowed by the protective bulk of its mother, this elephant calf has little to fear and can explore the joys of the water. Coming to terms with the use of a trunk can take some time. With as many as 40,000 different muscle units running through it, it's a significant piece of anatomy to master. And a highly sensitive one, too. By placing the tip of their trunk to the ground, elephants can pick up vibrations from nearby animals with exquisite detail. But even more powerful is the trunk's ability to smell. With a sense of smell that may be many times more powerful than a dog's, there is probably very little that escapes the notice of an elephant, particularly when they are protecting their young. After a pregnancy lasting almost 22 months, the longest of any mammal, this calf will be cared for by its mother, aunts, and sisters for another 10 to 15 years. Only a few days old, this calf already weighs some 90 kilograms and stands about 1 meter tall. But in the presence of a tiger, it is still at risk and must be well protected by the herd. This is not the prey the tiger is looking for, but there are many animals for it to choose from, and before the day is over, it will have earned its title as the premier hunter of the Indian forest. As the Indian day begins to wane, the temperature in the lowlands is still very hot. With barely a breeze, the grasslands can be stifling, and the animals move slowly, as if in a stupor. The young dholes who've broken off from their pack are still on the hunt. After a long, hot day, the grazing cheetle are at a low ebb, and may be the best chance for a meal these dogs will have today. They press forward on the herd of deer, singling out a large antlered buck. Predators like dhole usually target the small, the weak, and the slow. But today, this pair of dogs is after the most reward for its effort. In thick scrub, the antlered buck has little chance of escape. It rushes towards more open ground where it can achieve full flight. But the hungry does are faster. As the day wanes and the temperature cools, on the forest floor, an age-old battle for mating rights has begun. These Travancore tortoises are found only in southwestern India. They rest during the day and become active late in the afternoon. These two males have an issue to sort out. Who owns this patch of ground and has mating rights over a nearby female? The younger male on the left hopes to ram his message home. But he won't be winning a lady tortoise tonight. The spoils of war go to the victor. He can sense that she is ready to mate. But first, he must whisper sweet nothings, tortoise style. It seems that Travancore males have a limited repertoire. And females, like men of few words. Late in the day, Indian vultures are drawn to a carcass. A buffalo has died in the summer heat, and crowds of scavengers are gathering. The scent has drifted through the forest. The jackal mother, short on both food and milk, is aware this could be her last chance today for a meal to sustain her family. Jackal pups are rarely left alone, but hunger is pushing these dogs to extreme measures. Her adolescent daughter joins her to reconnoiter the smell. There is competition among species when a body is being divided. The vultures must retreat when a wild boar arrives. While the female pigs travel in groups called sounders, the big male boars are often loners. With a bone-cracking bite, other animals are wise to avoid them. But the jackal family are more hungry than wise right now. Across India, night will soon fall, bringing fresh danger. The hunters will have free rein in the forests and grasslands. Until then, there are just a few short hours of daytime left for the wildlife to eke out an existence. The tigress is on the prowl. She is a crepuscular hunter, meaning she shines in the dim light of dawn and dusk. Early this morning, there were plenty of deer at the waterhole, including a cheetle with a conspicuous limp. It is time for the tiger to silently return to the waterhole in hopes of meeting the small cheetle again. She makes it past the normally alert langurs. Sambar deer that are still wading make ideal targets for a tiger. If she attacks while they're in the water, they will have to walk before they can run. Exploding out of the blocks, her presence is broadcast for all to hear. But it is too late for one of the sambar. Her spine-severing bite ensures a quick death for the deer. The night has yet to begin, and this tiger's work is already done. She has cubs hiding far over the hills, so getting her meal home will be a long journey for her. As the day comes to a close, there is a change among India's animals. The night hunters are rising and waiting for darkness to set in, while the daylight animals are retiring back to the refuges they use for safety after the sun goes down. The jackal pups are still on their own. Their family has not returned, and these young dogs are too small to defend themselves. Without adult guardians, they are unlikely to make it through the night. As if in warning of their danger, a troop of rhesus macaques approaches the den, sending the pups scurrying in fright. At the water buffalo carcass, the adult jackals can wait their turn no longer. They must eat today if their pups are going to survive. But they must get back to the den before dark for the same reason. But sharing a meal with a wild boar is a dangerous game. The jackals are hungry, even snapping at each other in the rush for food. As the day's temperature falls to the 20s, rhinoceros become more active. Early evening is a prime time for grazing. But these two rhinoceros have other things on their mind. A male has been drawn by the scent of the female. These animals rarely mingle with each other very well, and this evening is no exception. But in the rhinoceros world, a small fight is also part of foreplay, as is chasing. This kind of courtship behavior can last for days. But for these two, tonight is the night. Mating can take more than an hour. And when it is done, the female will wander away and expect to have no more to do with the male. The cover of darkness has arrived. It will hide many deadly deeds, but it is also a protective cloak for many animals, hiding them from the prying eyes of hunters. As darkness falls across India, it is time for many animals to begin their day's work. The night shift is clocking in. The waterhole is active at night as well as day. Hundreds of eyes glow from the surface of the lake. Some of these eyes belong to young mugger crocodiles. Frogs leap to escape them as the crocs learn to hunt. The best way for them to catch frogs is to corral them against a bank. But these young muggers are not alone. Further out, the adults are using a similar technique on fish, working together to channel them into becoming a meal. Muggers are one of the few crocodiles in which both parents will care for the young for a few weeks after hatching. So this may be a family of crocodiles at hunt together. But crocodiles are otherwise cannibalistic, so the young will be wise to keep to the shallows. Some animals, like the sloth bears of India and Sri Lanka, are almost exclusively night animals. The predator these bears are most wary of is humans. This possum-like common palm civet has much to worry about. A leopard has caught the civet's scent and is stalking it. The civet's main defense is to release a nauseating smell from under its tail. But like most animals, their first defense is to run and hide. They are expert climbers. Leopards are the most arboreal of the big cats, but they are no match for a civet. The civet has nowhere else to go, as the leopard carefully goes further out on a limb for its meal. With a leap that is literally death-defying, the civet jumps to safety, leaving the leopard to become just a cat stuck in a tree. In an underground burrow, a female Indian python is tightly coiled around her clutch of eggs. For 2 months, she has guarded them, occasionally shivering to keep them warm. But her job is done. Her offspring can release themselves from their leathery eggs cutting their way into the world with a razor-sharp egg tooth. At up to half a meter long, these young snakes are ready to hunt small animals like mice. But the sustenance from their eggs means they have a few days yet before they must kill. Under cover of dark, this newly hatched Indian python makes its way to a nearby stream for its first drink. Like most tropical constrictors, this young python is an excellent swimmer. It will often hunt from the water. It can stay submerged for up to 30 minutes at a time. It's not the only predator making use of this stream. It looks like a house cat gone wild, but this is a rare fishing cat. They live in small numbers throughout Asia and can weigh more than 10 kilograms. As their name suggests, they are famous for fishing. But these cats are powerful enough to take small calves and dogs. A small snake is just a snack for a fishing cat. Ending the life of the young Indian python, just as it had begun. In the forests of India, the difference between living and dying is often luck. Mother Nature does not play favorites. And as this night comes to an end and a new day dawns, the game of survival is reset. Some animals have made it against the odds, while others have been taken for the greater good of the forest. What is important is that this wilderness persists, the creche for this unique group of animals. A place like no other, a wildlife Shangri-La hidden beyond the massive fortress walls of the Himalayas.